Welcome, dear dreamers, to another gentle night with whispers of the night tonight. We step quietly into the soft, serene world of the weaver of silent stories. Settle into a comfortable position, feel the weight of your body supported, and take a deep, slow breath. Let your shoulders soften, your muscles release, and your mind drift into calm awareness. Imagine warm lantern light spilling gently across a quiet room, threads shimmering softly, and the faint hush of evening settling around you. Each sound, each shadow invites relaxation, inviting you to pause, to let go. In this safe, tranquil space, you are welcome. Subscribe to Whispers of the Night and join our sanctuary of soothing tales, where each story carries peace, comfort, and gentle dreams for your night. Take a long, slow breath and feel the calm moving through your body. Imagine yourself in a softly glowing room where threads shimmer in silver and gold, floating gently, alive with quiet whispers. Each thread carries a memory, a dream, a gentle story waiting to be discovered. Step slowly along imagined paths where flowers glow with soft light, their petals swaying in invisible breezes. Hear the quiet murmur of a stream nearby, water rippling gently over smooth stones, the soft rustle of leaves in the trees, and the distant call of a night bird. Let your mind follow the gentle curves of the threads, letting thoughts drift like clouds across a twilight sky. Feel the warmth of gold threads brushing softly, the cool shimmer of silver threads wrapping around your awareness. Each breath brings deeper calm, every heartbeat slowing into a quiet rhythm of peace. You walk further into this serene dreamscape, past hills illuminated by starlight, over quiet bridges, beside glowing flowers, along gentle streams. Tiny creatures rest safely in hidden corners, foxes curled in the grass, birds tucked into branches. The world around you hums softly, carrying you into deeper relaxation. Let go of tension, let your mind wander with the threads. Float slowly, drift gently. Feel every part of your body surrender to calm, your imagination moving freely, your spirit light. You are safe, you are at peace, and you are ready to drift fully into gentle sleep, carried by the quiet magic of this thread-filled world. The weaver of silent stories, the quiet loom. The evening had settled over the small cottage like a soft, protective blanket, its edges brushing gently against the surrounding trees and the narrow path that led to the door. Inside, the room was cloaked in the warm glow of a single lantern, its light reflecting off polished wooden surfaces and casting delicate shadows that danced slowly across the walls. The weaver sat before her loom, her hands moving with practiced grace, guiding each thread into its place. Silver and gold threads shimmered under the faint light, catching glimmers of the lantern's glow and creating a soft, almost ethereal glow around her. Each movement of her fingers, precise yet fluid, seemed to produce more than just woven fabric. It conjured a story, an invisible narrative flowing from her mind through her fingertips and into the threads. The wind whispered gently through the branches of ancient oaks, their leaves rustling like the soft murmur of voices too distant to understand. Occasionally, a night creature stirred, a small owl hooting softly in the distance, the faint rustle of a fox moving across fallen leaves, but these sounds did not disturb the quietude of the room. Instead, they added to it, layering it with a sense of living calm that felt almost tangible. The weaver's eyes were focused yet serene, a soft amber glow reflecting in them from the threads she worked with. Her shoulder-length, smooth, light brown hair with warm golden undertones fell around her face in soft waves, catching the light as she leaned slightly forward to examine her work. A few loose strands brushed her cheeks, moving gently as she adjusted her position on the worn wooden stool. She wore a loose, light terracotta blouse with a gathered neckline, its sleeves softly puffed and rolled slightly at the wrists. A matching shawl was draped around her shoulders, its ends flowing slightly as if caught in an invisible breeze, giving her a quiet, almost otherworldly presence. Her high-waisted white skirt, made of soft, lightweight fabric, fell naturally around her legs, brushing the surface of the wooden floor as she shifted her weight from one foot to the other. The air inside the room smelled faintly of aged wood, dried herbs hung from small hooks along the walls, and the faint, lingering scent of the cloth she worked with. The rhythm of her weaving was gentle but unbroken. One hand guided the threads through the loom, while the other pressed them into place with care, ensuring that each line was smooth and perfect, yet alive with subtle variations that hinted at her skill and attention. As she worked, the threads seemed to take on a life of their own. Silver threads twinkled faintly, reflecting hints of moonlight even before the night had fully claimed the sky, while golden strands glowed with the warmth of remembered sunlight. Each combination of color, each subtle crossing of strands, created patterns that were more than decorative. They seemed to carry memories, fragments of dreams and quiet stories whispered by the world around her. Occasionally, she paused to tilt her head, examining the progress of her work from a distance. Her eyes softened as she watched the design emerge, noticing where a thread had slipped slightly out of place or where a tiny imperfection had occurred. These moments were not frustrating. They were simply part of the rhythm, part of the process of creation. There was a kind of intimacy between her and the loom, a conversation in silence where each thread responded to her touch, each pattern unfolding under her direction. Outside, the wind picked up slightly, brushing against the walls of the cottage with a hushed intensity. The rustling leaves and distant murmurs of the night seemed to follow the rhythm of her weaving, as though the natural world itself had become a part of her tapestry. The weaver's hands moved faster for a brief moment, coaxing the threads into more complex patterns, her thoughts and imagination flowing seamlessly into the work. The threads seemed to hum softly under her fingers, and for a moment the room glowed with a subtle inner light, as though the stories woven into the fabric had begun to take shape outside the loom. She leaned back slightly, her eyes wandering to the small window beside her. The moon hung low and silver in the sky, spilling soft light across the garden where flowers slept beneath duladen leaves. The weaver's gaze softened, and a faint, almost imperceptible smile appeared on her lips. She often drew inspiration from the quiet world outside, listening to the rhythm of the night and letting it flow into her creations. Every thread she placed carried not just a design, but a piece of that night, the whisper of leaves, the shimmer of moonlight on petals, the distant call of an owl echoing softly in the cool air. The loom clicked steadily, the only consistent sound in the room, aside from the wind, an occasional night creature. Time seemed to stretch and fold in this space. Minutes and hours lost meaning as her hands moved in steady, meditative motion. The golden threads reflected her inner warmth, the silver ones capturing fleeting glimmers of thought, and together they formed an intricate tapestry of quiet magic. She sometimes paused, touching a finished section with gentle fingers, as if to make sure the stories within the threads were still alive. As the night deepened, a calm settled over the room that was deeper than silence. It was a presence, almost tangible, wrapping around her like the soft folds of her shawl. The weaver breathed slowly, steadily, letting the rhythm of her work match the rhythm of her heart. Shadows moved gently across the floor, and the patterns of light from the lantern shifted slightly, highlighting the delicate texture of her fabric. Every thread, every movement, every pause held meaning. It was a quiet dance between her imagination and the material world, a conversation conducted entirely through touch, vision, and thought. Hours passed, yet the weaver remained absorbed, her mind and hands in perfect harmony. The night outside continued its gentle song, and within the room, a story was being created that was more than the sum of its parts. Each thread was a word, each pattern a sentence, each panel a paragraph in the unspoken tale she wove silently for anyone who might one day pause and truly see. The room seemed alive with the essence of her work, a quiet luminescence that pulsed softly around her, as if the night itself had entered the fabric she was creating. By the time the first hints of dawn touched the horizon, painting the edges of the sky in pale gold, the weaver leaned back for a moment of rest. Her hands were slightly tired, but her mind was calm and full, satisfied with the progress she had made. The tapestry on the loom was far from finished, yet even in its incomplete state, it radiated warmth, peace, and the quiet magic of a story waiting to be told. She closed her eyes briefly, breathing in the soft scent of wood and thread, listening to the faint stirrings of morning outside, and allowed herself a moment of quiet reflection. In that space, between night and day, between thought and creation, the weaver of silent stories felt at peace, surrounded by threads that shimmered with light, life, and untold tales. Threads of memory. Each thread on the loom seemed to hum softly with its own quiet life, delicate and fleeting, carrying whispers of things long past yet never truly gone. The weaver's hands moved with practiced grace, fingers brushing across the silk and wool as though awakening memories hidden within their fibers. Silver threads glimmered faintly, holding the shimmer of moonlight reflected on still water, while golden strands radiated warmth, echoing the glow of long-forgotten sunsets. As she guided each thread into place, soft images unfolded within the weaving laughter shared in sun-drenched meadows, the hush of rain tapping gently on old rooftops, the faint glow of candlelight in quiet evening rooms. These moments were never forced. They appeared naturally, as though the threads themselves had remembered, calling forth the echoes of life for those who chose to see. The room was calm, filled with the subtle, comforting sounds of weaving, the quiet click of the loom, the brushing of fibers across one another, and the occasional soft sigh of the weaver as she paused to admire the patterns forming beneath her hands. Her amber golden eyes reflected not just the glow of the threads, but the tender emotions they carried. She sometimes closed her eyes, letting her memory mingle with that held in the loom, and allowed herself to drift gently through the past. In those moments, the silver threads shimmered with quiet joy, the golden ones with warmth and affection, and together they created a tapestry of emotion that wrapped the room in soft, living light. The wind moved through the trees with a gentle, almost reverent hush, brushing leaves against one another in a delicate rhythm that mirrored the weaver's hands. The distant call of an owl, the faint scurrying of a night creature, and the soft rustle of leaves all contributed to the serene ambience, reinforcing the quiet nostalgia that seemed to flow from the loom itself. Each thread carried not just a visual memory, but an emotional imprint, the light-hearted laughter of childhood, the bittersweet ache of a long-lost friendship, the serene calm of a quiet afternoon in a sunlit garden. The patterns were intricate, layered, and alive, drawing the observer inward and inviting them to experience the memories themselves, even if only for a fleeting moment. The weaver's movements were slow, deliberate. One hand guided the threads, while the other pressed them softly into place, smoothing out any disruptions in the flow of the pattern. Her fingers traced the outlines of shapes that seemed to shimmer into existence with the touch of her hands, a memory of a quiet stream running over smooth stones, the golden hue of late afternoon sunlight falling across a meadow, a single leaf drifting gently in the wind. Every small gesture was amplified by the loom, each motion producing more than just a pattern of fibers. It wove emotion and history into something tangible, something that could be felt as well as seen. The threads seemed to respond to her inner thoughts, bending and shifting with her subtle intentions. Silver lines caught fleeting glimpses of joy. A golden strand hinted at warmth and love. A soft shadow of blue wove in melancholy remembrance. As she worked, soft images played like miniature scenes within the tapestry. Children chasing butterflies under a glowing sunset. Rain tracing slow lines down a fogged window. The gentle curve of a loved one's smile remembered in quiet reflection. Each moment was captured and preserved, a memory given form through the tactile beauty of the threads. Time became fluid in the room, stretching and contracting with the weaving. The weaver did not notice hours passing. She was entirely absorbed in the silent stories unfolding beneath her hands. The act of weaving became a bridge between the present and the past, a conduit for gentle nostalgia and quiet introspection. She leaned slightly forward, her shawl draping around her as though shielding her from the outside world, and allowed herself to feel each memory fully, savoring the gentle pull of recollection. In the soft glow of the lantern, the threads shimmered like living fragments of time, each strand a small portal to a moment that had once been vibrant and alive. Sometimes, she would pause to touch a particular thread lightly, letting her fingers linger over the woven memory, almost as if to speak silently to it. The patterns shifted subtly beneath her touch, revealing new layers, hidden corners of emotion previously unseen. Laughter became brighter, sunsets warmer, and even the quiet sadness of parting softened into something gentle and comforting. The room seemed to pulse with the energy of remembrance, a living testament to the idea that memories, like threads, could be carefully arranged and treasured, woven into a delicate fabric that carried both joy and sorrow with equal grace. As the night deepened, the loom's tapestry grew more intricate, a mosaic of past experiences and emotions unfolding slowly beneath the weaver's hands. Each thread was a story, and together they formed a vast, interconnected narrative that seemed to transcend the boundaries of time. She breathed slowly, steadily, allowing the rhythm of weaving to guide her through the waves of memory, feeling the echoes of each moment as though they were happening once more in the quiet sanctuary of her room. Even the faintest breeze brushing against the window carried with it fragments of sound and scent, reminding her of the delicate, living world outside that had inspired so many of these memories. By the time the first hints of dawn touched the horizon, a soft, golden light filtered through the window, casting the loom and its tapestry in a gentle glow. The weaver leaned back for a moment, her eyes sweeping across the threads she had worked so carefully, now alive with the quiet resonance of memory. The images shimmered softly, inviting anyone who might watch to step into the gentle nostalgia she had woven, to remember and feel alongside the fabric. The room was serene, filled with the subtle, almost sacred sense that every moment mattered, that memories could be preserved and cherished in ways that were tangible, beautiful, and profoundly moving. The weaver's hands rested lightly on the loom, and she closed her eyes for a brief instant, letting herself be enveloped by the calm glow of her creation. The threads, alive with the emotions and moments she had gathered, seemed to breathe alongside her, a quiet, gentle testament to the stories we all carry. In that space, between night and dawn, the weaver of silent stories allowed herself and anyone who might one day witness her work to drift into serene reflection, embracing the comfort, beauty, and tranquility of remembered moments held tenderly in threads of memory. Whispers in the threads. The room was hushed, wrapped in the kind of stillness that feels alive, where every shadow and every flicker of light seems to hold a secret. The weaver sat at her loom, her fingers hovering over the delicate threads that shimmered softly under the lantern's warm glow. Each thread seemed to vibrate with a faint energy, a whisper too subtle for most to hear, carrying secrets of forgotten dreams, hidden places, and moments long past that had never been spoken aloud. She leaned forward slightly, tilting her head as if to catch a delicate voice on the wind, and let her hands drift over the threads. Listening with all the attention she could muster, the patterns beneath her fingers seemed to respond, shifting imperceptibly, as though encouraging her to follow where they would lead, to trust the gentle guidance of their murmurs. The sound of the loom added a quiet rhythm to the room, a soft creak as the frame adjusted, the gentle swish of threads being drawn and pressed into place, and the subtle tap of her fingers against the smooth wood. Together, these sounds created a lullaby-like cadence, a serene harmony that seemed to wrap around the space, comforting and gentle. Each movement of her hands felt like a conversation in silence, an exchange of understanding between the weaver and the threads themselves. Sometimes the threads seemed to hum faintly beneath her touch, resonating with the echoes of places she had never been but could sense through the stories they carried. Silver threads murmured softly of moonlit glades and quiet forests untouched by human presence, while golden strands whispered of warm sunlight spilling across forgotten courtyards and streets. Her amber golden eyes were calm, reflective, and wholly absorbed in the quiet dialogue taking place between her and the loom. She occasionally paused, closing her eyes to allow herself to truly feel the essence of the threads, the messages hidden in their subtle vibrations. The room seemed to expand around her, becoming a space where the outside world, with its hurried pace and demands, no longer existed. Only the threads, the whispers they carried, and the gentle cadence of the loom remained, inviting her and anyone who might silently observe to sink deeper into rest and quiet reflection as she worked. Images formed within the patterns, like fleeting glimpses of distant lands or fragments of long-forgotten dreams. A thread of deep indigo curled delicately, forming the outline of a winding river disappearing into misty mountains. Nearby, a faint silver line shimmered, suggesting a hidden glade where the air was fragrant with wildflowers and a soft light filtered through the leaves. These images were not static. They shifted and flowed as the weaver's hands traced the paths of the threads, each motion guiding the story further into subtle, magical landscapes that existed somewhere between memory and imagination. Her breath was steady, slow, and synchronized with the gentle rhythm of the weaving, as if the loom itself had adopted the cadence of her heartbeat. Outside, the wind rustled through the trees in soft waves, carrying with it hints of far-off places and moments the world had almost forgotten. The distant call of an owl, the subtle scraping of branches, and the occasional scurry of night creatures created a symphony that complemented the murmuring of the threads. It was a music that asked for no attention, that required nothing of the listener except to allow the mind to drift and wander in time with it. The weaver moved carefully, deliberately, knowing that each whisper, each subtle shift in the threads, was part of a story waiting to unfold, a secret waiting to be understood. Sometimes she would pause her work entirely, letting her hands hover above the threads as though listening for the quietest of voices. In these moments, the threads seemed almost alive, vibrating softly under her touch, sending tiny ripples through the patterns on the loom. She followed the guidance they offered, her fingers tracing gentle curves and lines, coaxing the threads to reveal hidden forms, places, and memories. It was a slow, deliberate dance, one that required patience, trust, and a deep connection to the silent life of the threads. The longer she worked, the more the room itself seemed to become infused with the whispers, the magic of unseen places settling into every corner, folding into the shadows, and making the space feel alive with quiet stories. The golden threads gleamed warmly, carrying whispers of laughter shared in secret gardens and sunlit terraces that had long been abandoned. Silver threads murmured of moonlit oceans, glimmering peaks, and paths untaken. Blue and lavender strands hinted at soft, dreamlike moments, the hush of twilight, the gentle sway of grass under a slow breeze, and the quiet reflection of moments that could only be felt in memory or imagination. Each combination of colors, each subtle interaction between threads, created a narrative that was never hurried, never forced, but simply allowed to unfold naturally, guided by the gentle hands of the weaver who listened with unwavering attention. The act of weaving became a meditation, a conduit between the present moment and the quiet, hidden corners of the world. Time seemed to stretch and bend in the room, becoming elastic, as if the loom had its own sense of rhythm, one that matched the heartbeat of the night itself. The weaver's focus was complete, and in the silence, the whispers grew clearer, revealing delicate secrets that only attentive listeners could perceive. There was no need for words, for the threads spoke eloquently in their own language of motion, shimmer, and subtle resonance. As the hours drifted slowly onward, the tapestry beneath her hands grew more intricate, layers of whispering stories weaving together into a serene, immersive landscape. Each thread carried its own narrative, yet together they harmonized, creating something larger than themselves, a soft, living lullaby that reached beyond the room and seemed to touch the heart of the night itself. The weaver's fingers traced delicate arcs and spirals, forming patterns that invited anyone watching to lose themselves in the gentle mystery of forgotten dreams and unseen places. She felt a calm, profound satisfaction, knowing that each whisper, each secret, was held safely in the weaving, ready to be discovered by those patient enough to notice. By the time the first hints of dawn touched the horizon, the room was suffused with a soft, quiet light, and the weaver leaned back for a moment, her hands resting gently on the loom. The threads seemed to hum softly under her fingers, as if grateful for the care and attention they had received. The whispers of the night, carried in silver and gold, blue and lavender, had woven themselves into a gentle rhythm that lingered long after her work paused. In that serene space between night and morning, the weaver of silent stories allowed herself to breathe fully, to feel the quiet magic of unseen places, and to rest in the comforting knowledge that every thread held a secret worth listening to. The garden beyond silence. The loom before her hummed softly, threads shimmering like liquid light, and as the weaver guided them with her fingers, a vision began to emerge. delicate and luminous. Through the weaving, she glimpsed a garden unlike any she had ever seen in the waking world, a place suspended between reality and dream, where silence was not emptiness, but a living presence that carried the faint hum of life. The flowers glowed with soft inner light, petals ranging from pale lavender to gentle gold, shimmering with the memory of sunlight and moonlight alike. Each bloom seemed aware of her presence, nodding slightly as if acknowledging her quiet steps through their imagined paths. Streams of clear, cool water meandered gently through the landscape, murmuring secrets in a language she could feel more than hear, and the soft rustle of leaves in invisible trees added a gentle rhythm to the scene. She stepped slowly, deliberately letting the threads guide her through the dreamlike garden. The ground beneath her feet was soft, moss-like, and warmed by a subtle glow that seemed to rise from the earth itself. Gentle breezes brushed her skin, carrying the faint scent of jasmine, lavender, and something she could not name but found deeply comforting. Each step she took seemed to resonate in harmony with the threads beneath her fingers, as if the loom and the garden shared a heartbeat, a quiet rhythm of peace and serenity. She moved without urgency, noticing small details, a droplet clinging to the tip of a glowing leaf, the glint of moonlight on the surface of a stream, the flutter of tiny wings of imagined creatures, hiding just beyond the edges of perception. The weaver's amber golden eyes softened as she took in the scene, her gaze tracing the curves of winding paths and gentle hills, the sway of flowers in an unseen wind, the sparkle of dew on leaves that seemed to glow from within. She allowed herself to breathe slowly, inhaling the calm energy of the garden, feeling it seep into her muscles, her hands, her mind. Each inhalation brought a deeper sense of presence, a connection not just to the garden she glimpsed, but to the quiet magic of creation itself. The threads of the loom seemed to ripple subtly, as if echoing her movements, guiding her further into the imagined landscape with an unspoken promise of safety, rest, and serenity. Streams of light shimmered along the water's surface, tiny ripples reflecting patterns that hinted at stories waiting to be discovered. She knelt to let her fingers brush the water, feeling a cool, imagined trickle slide over her skin, leaving a faint, tingling warmth that felt like memory or dream. Around her, flowers leaned subtly toward her presence, as though their glow responded to her gentle attention. The garden was alive in a quiet, ethereal way, a world that existed, and yet it felt entirely independent, as if it had always been there, waiting for someone patient enough to notice its delicate rhythms, birdsong or something, like it drifted faintly through the air, soft, lyrical, and unfamiliar, blending with the quiet murmur of water and the subtle swish of unseen leaves. She moved slowly along a path lined with golden flowers, their glow reflecting on the gentle surface of a stream nearby. Each step was measured, her awareness fully tuned to the serenity of the garden, and with every breath, the weight of the outside world seemed to fall away, leaving only the calm intimacy of this dreamlike sanctuary. Time stretched and softened, and she felt herself carried along the threads of imagination, moving with the garden, walking in a space that existed both outside of her and within the tapestry she wove. She paused at a small glade where flowers clustered more densely, their glow bathing the area in a soft, golden light. Streams curved around the edges, murmuring in quiet harmony, and the air was rich with the scent of earth, water, and blossom. She sank gently to the ground, feeling the imagined grass beneath her fingers, and allowed herself to fully absorb the peacefulness of this place. Each detail seemed to invite a slow, reflective awareness: the glint of dew on petals, the gentle sway of leaves, the soft, whispered chorus of the unseen life of the garden. It was a world of perfect calm, where nothing demanded her attention except her own quiet presence and the gentle guidance of the threads beneath her hands. As she rose, moving along another winding path, the garden seemed to unfold endlessly, revealing new corners of light, shadow, and quiet delight. A small stone bridge arched gracefully over a stream, moss-covered and shimmering faintly as though touched by moonlight. She crossed it slowly, noticing the reflections of flowers and sky in the water, the soft rustle of invisible creatures in the underbrush, and the lingering fragrance of imagined blooms. Every motion, every glance, every breath felt synchronized with the garden itself, as if the world had been waiting for her arrival and now welcomed her presence with a soft, unspoken warmth. The gentle breeze continued to brush her skin, carrying the quiet sounds and scents of the garden throughout the space. She traced her fingers along a vine curling around a glowing tree, marveling at the subtle luminescence of leaves and the way the threads of the loom seemed to echo the curves and forms around her. This was a garden that existed entirely within her imagination, yet felt vivid and real. A sanctuary created by her hands, her attention, and the soft hum of stories in the threads. Every step forward brought a deeper sense of calm. Every breath a quiet reassurance that here, in this woven vision, all was safe, serene, and tenderly alive. She wandered slowly among streams, glades, and softly glowing flowers, each step a meditation, each motion a connection to the silent rhythm of creation. The garden seemed endless yet intimate, vast yet tender, an eternal space where peace and relaxation flowed as naturally as the murmuring waters. With the loom before her and the threads beneath her fingers, she allowed herself to be fully present, feeling the gentle pull of serenity and the quiet, luminous magic of the garden she had glimpsed beyond silence. Time, sound, and worry seemed to dissolve entirely, leaving only the soft embrace of this imagined sanctuary, where each whispering flower, each rippling stream, and each glimmering leaf invited her and anyone who followed to walk slowly, breathe deeply, and rest fully in the beauty of a world both dreamlike and profoundly real. A story for the night. The loom before her hummed quietly, the threads shimmering softly in the warm glow of the lantern, and the weaver's hands moved with careful, deliberate grace. Tonight, the tapestry she created was meant for the night itself, a gift of calm and quiet reflection, woven with intention and care. Silver threads reflected the pale glow of moonlight, curling gently like mist over sleeping rooftops, while soft gold hinted at the warmth of stars scattered across the velvet sky. Her fingers traced intricate patterns, guiding each thread with a gentle hand, ensuring that every line, every curve, carried a sense of peace and reassurance. The room seemed to hold its breath, as though aware of the quiet magic being woven into the fibers, and outside, the wind whispered faintly, brushing softly against the windows and the ancient trees surrounding the cottage. The tapestry unfolded slowly beneath her hands, revealing quiet villages bathed in moonlight, streets empty but alive with the sense of past laughter and shared stories. Tiny cottages nestled together, smoke curling lazily from chimneys, the soft glow of lanterns reflected in quiet puddles along cobblestone paths. Each detail was subtle yet vivid, inviting the imagination to linger on the warmth and comfort of a sleeping world. Streams mirrored the sky above, rippling gently in harmony with the soft rhythm of her weaving, and delicate bridges arched over quiet waters, their curves tracing gentle, meditative arcs that encouraged reflection and serenity. Silver threads glimmered like dew on roof tiles, catching the faint light of imagined stars, while golden strands wove warmth into the fabric, a reminder of safety, comfort, and the quiet glow of home. The weaver's amber-golden eyes softened as she worked, her focus complete, her mind calm and fully present. She imagined small animals tucked in nests and burrows, their soft breathing steady and slow, the rise and fall of chests synchronized with the quiet pulse of night. A fox curled into the long grass, a rabbit nestled among the roots of a tree, and birds huddled together on high branches, feathers fluffed against the gentle night air. Each creature was captured not in rigid form, but in essence, the sense of rest and safety flowing from the threads into the world she created. Her hands moved in harmony with the rhythm of the night, the quiet swish of threads and the soft creak of the loom echoing the natural cadence of sleeping life. The tapestry extended to the seas, calm and infinite under a sky scattered with stars. Gentle waves rippled softly, reflecting the pale moonlight, each crest shimmering with silver light as though breathing with the quiet energy of the world. She traced patterns of waves with her fingers, shaping them into gentle undulations that mirrored the lull of wind and tide, and beneath them the ocean seemed to pulse with a tranquil heartbeat, a soothing reminder that even vast, restless waters could find calm in the quiet of night. Small boats rocked gently on imagined tides, their sails folded, and distant shores faded softly into moonlit mist, creating a space where the imagination could rest without worry or rush. As the night deepened, the weaver allowed herself to pause. For a moment, leaning back slightly on her stool, eyes tracing the threads that shimmered beneath her fingers. Each section of the tapestry held a story, but one that required no words to understand, just the quiet presence of the viewer, the gentle observation of the flowing patterns and glowing threads. Silver lines whispered of moonlight brushing, rooftops, golden strands hummed with warmth and serenity, and blue threads carried the soft hush of sea and sky. It was a tapestry that encouraged slow breathing, deep relaxation, and the gentle letting go of the day's burdens. Each stitch, each movement of her hand was an act of care, a quiet gesture of comfort for any who might witness the night through her weaving. The room itself seemed to echo the serenity of the tapestry, Shadows softened and stretched across the floor, cast by the warm lantern light and the gentle flicker of candle flames in the corners. The faint scent of dried herbs hung in the air, mingling with the soft, almost imperceptible aroma of the threads themselves. Her shawl draped loosely around her shoulders, moving slightly as she leaned forward, and the high-waisted skirt of soft white fabric brushed against the floor as she shifted her weight. Every detail of her presence, every sound of her movement, blended seamlessly into the atmosphere, reinforcing the sense of calm and reassurance carried by the threads. Slowly, the tapestry came to life with a quiet vibrancy that transcended the loom itself. The villages shimmered under gentle starlight. Streams murmured softly as if echoing real water, and the creatures in hiding seemed to breathe with a slow, steady rhythm. Silver threads caught the faint light and glimmered like fireflies hovering just above the ground, while golden threads bathed rooftops, fields, and quiet lanes in a warmth that invited deep rest. The ocean waves reflected the glow of the stars above, and the soft curves of hills and valleys guided the eye in a rhythm that encouraged stillness, reflection, and a sense of peace. Every detail was deliberate yet effortless, a weaving of comfort that embraced both body and mind. By the time the first light of dawn brushed the horizon with faint gold, the weaver's hands rested lightly on the loom, and she allowed herself a moment of quiet satisfaction. The tapestry for the night was complete, a gentle, living story of calm, of moonlight, of quiet villages and rippling seas, of resting creatures and safe, glowing homes. It was a narrative of closure, an invitation to release worry and surrender to rest. Her amber, golden eyes traced the threads one final time, seeing not just the patterns, but the quiet life they carried, the peace and serenity meant for anyone who would gaze upon them or imagine them in the mind's eye. The loom hummed softly, the threads shimmering in muted celebration of completion, and the weaver leaned back, breathing slowly and fully, feeling the gentle pull of satisfaction and serenity settle into her chest. The tapestry was not just a creation of threads, but a gift of calm, a lullaby of light and shadow, motion and stillness, intended to ease the mind, soothe the spirit, and prepare anyone who witnessed it for a restful sleep. Outside, the wind stirred gently in the trees, as if acknowledging the quiet power of the work she had accomplished, and the first birds of morning whispered softly in the distance. In this space, between night and day, the weaver of silent stories allowed herself to pause, to feel the full embrace of completion, and to know that the world she had woven for the night would carry others gently into the calm sanctuary of dreams. Threads of dreams. At last, the weaver set aside her loom, hands resting lightly on its polished wood, and allowed herself to lean back into the quiet warmth of the room. The threads she had guided so carefully over countless hours seemed to shimmer softly on their own, glowing faintly as if aware that their purpose had shifted from creation to reflection. The tapestry of villages, seas, gardens, and whispers she had woven now floated in the mind's eye like a soft, luminous dreamscape, delicate and alive, inviting anyone who observed to step gently into its folds. Her amber golden eyes softened as she closed them briefly, breathing deeply, and felt the gentle tug of her own imagination weaving together with the threads, drawing her inward into a serene, weightless world where sleep and story intertwined seamlessly. As she drifted, the patterns she had created began to move with a quiet life of their own. Silver threads shimmered like drifting starlight, curving and flowing like gentle streams of moonlight over unseen landscapes, while golden threads glowed warmly, casting soft illumination that traced the contours of floating hills, quiet villages, and rippling seas. The images of her previous work flowers, gardens, streams, and sleeping creatures lifted from the loom and floated around her in soft, slow motion. She reached out lightly with her fingertips, and the threads responded to her touch, flowing around her fingers like water, bending and curving to form new shapes, new gentle landscapes of imagination. Each movement of her hands guided the dreamscape with careful, loving attention, and every shimmer of thread felt like a quiet whisper of comfort and calm. The room seemed to dissolve around her, replaced by the soft glow of her creation. She felt weightless, moving through scenes of glowing gardens where blossoms leaned in to brush her cheeks, past streams murmuring lullabies in silver and gold, and over gentle hills illuminated by starlight. The air was fragrant with imagined flowers and the faint, comforting scent of evening dew. A soft breeze carried these aromas and whispers to her, as though the threads themselves had taken the role of wind, guiding her through their dreamscape with infinite patience. She walked slowly, deliberately, her bare feet brushing soft, glowing grass, each step a meditation, each breath a quiet release of tension and thought. Silver streams reflected the sky above, soft ripples forming gentle arcs that mirrored the slow rhythm of her heartbeat. Tiny creatures moved quietly within the dreamscape, foxes curled under luminous trees, birds perched upon glowing branches, and rabbits paused mid-step in silent observation, but none demanded attention. All were peaceful, resting in the calmness of the night, a reflection of the serenity she felt within herself. The weaver let herself wander among them, her hands lightly brushing petals, leaves, and threads alike, each touch resonating with the subtle hum of life she had woven into existence. The threads responded like old friends, moving with grace and care, drawing her forward, deeper into the gentle expanses of imagined space, the golden glow of starlight and lantern, threads intertwined with silver moonlight, illuminating soft hills and sleepy villages that floated lightly in the dream. She followed a winding path of light that curved and swirled like the gentle currents of a calm river, moving without hurry, without concern for time. Every detail she passed: the shimmer of dew on petals, the soft sway of flowers in invisible wind, the reflective glimmer of water encouraged a profound sense of presence, a quiet awareness that everything in this space was exactly as it should be. The gentle rustle of leaves, the soft hum of threads, the murmur of unseen creatures, all combined into a lullaby that invited both the weaver and any who imagined themselves alongside her to surrender fully to calm, wandering dreams. She paused at a small glade, where silver and gold threads wove a natural dome of floating light. Beneath it, a quiet stream curved lazily around glowing moss and flowers, and petals drifted down as if in slow motion, never landing harshly, but floating like whispers of memory and imagination. She knelt, her hands trailing lightly across the water, feeling its soft energy resonate through her fingers, a soothing reminder that she could rest here completely without thought or worry. Each ripple of the stream seemed to carry the gentle cadence of her breath, a rhythm that invited deep relaxation, encouraging surrender to the serene embrace of dream. Above her, the stars glimmered gently, mirrored by threads that curled and floated around her in endless, soft spirals. The villages and seas she had woven earlier shimmered in parallel reality, now part of the dreamscape, drifting slowly past her like quiet memories. The lullaby of the loom, the hum of her threads, and the soft breath of imagined creatures formed a chorus of gentle, soundless music, a serene accompaniment to the motion of drifting through her own creation. She walked among glowing meadows, past streams murmuring softly, over hills that rose and fell with the slow sway of dream, feeling completely immersed in the safe, tender world she had spun from imagination and care. Her body relaxed fully, weightless and unburdened as she moved through the floating landscapes of her own creation. She allowed herself to surrender completely, following the threads wherever they led, letting each shimmer, curve, and ripple guide her deeper into gentle sleep. Silver glows reflected starlight across her closed eyes. Golden threads wove warmth across her skin, and the soft murmuring of the dreamscape echoed a quiet lullaby in her mind. Every movement was calm, every breath slow and steady, every heartbeat in harmony with the rhythmic flow of her floating, luminous world. Eventually, she lay down amidst the softly glowing threads, letting the dreamscape embrace her fully. Villages floated above like tiny islands of serenity. Streams curled around her body like gentle arms, and flowers leaned in close, brushing her hair and skin with imagined caresses of light and color. The lullaby of her creation, carried in the threads, streams, and floating landscapes, guided her into deeper stillness. The outside world faded entirely, leaving only this serene, floating expanse where imagination, memory, and dream were one. Every thread she had woven now pulsed softly with gentle light, echoing the calm energy she had poured into it. The silver threads glimmered like stars, fading into rest. The golden threads radiated warmth and safety, and the combination of colors and movement created a lullaby more profound than any sound could achieve. In this space, she drifted fully, mind and body surrendered to the threads, to the dreamscape, to the quiet magic of her own creation. She was weightless, peaceful, and completely embraced by the tapestry she had made, a living dream in which both creator and observer could wander safely, freely, and fully into calm sleep. She closed her eyes completely, feeling herself dissolve into the gentle currents of light and memory she had woven. The floating dreamscape enveloped her completely, carrying her softly forward, a river of luminous threads guiding her toward infinite calm, tender reflection, and quiet wandering dreams. In this serene moment, the weaver of silent stories rested fully, her spirit in harmony with the lullaby of her creation, inviting anyone who followed her to drift gently alongside surrendering completely to the soft, wandering, weightless embrace of sleep. The weaver sets aside her loom, and the threads float softly into night. Villages, streams, and glowing flowers drift gently, carrying their quiet magic. Every ripple, every shimmer invites your mind to release the day, surrendering completely to calm. Let the gentle flow of silver and gold threads guide you into restful sleep. You are safe, serene, and embraced by this quiet, floating dreamscape, drifting slowly until morning light.